Are you looking for bite-sized videos when it comes to topics like WordPress and blogging? If yes, then Blogging Unplugged Clips is for you. Hello guys, I'm Jasmeet, and on this channel I will be sharing clips from my main channel Blogging Unplugged almost every single day. Now if you are into bite-sized informational content, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell. And with that said, let's dive into the video.
Now the first change or the improvement that we are going to discuss in Elementor Pro 3.9 is for the loop builder. Now to see this change, what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the experiments in Elementor in both of these tabs. So let me just open experiments in both of these tabs right over here. Okay, so basically the loop builder widget was released in Elementor Pro 3.8 and it required you to activate the flexbox container widget. Now that is why this widget came disabled by default. Now to show you this, what I'm going to do is let's just scroll down and you can see it is inactive. It requires flexbox container, and you can see the flexbox container is disabled by default. However, when I will click this default right over here, it will ask me to basically activate the flexbox container experiment. Now when I will activate it, it will automatically activate the loop builder widget, which is the loop feature is now active by default. However, the flexbox container is active as well. Now what this means is to activate or use the loop builder widget, you needed to activate the flexbox container. Okay, so this was the condition, this was the requirement basically in Elementor Pro 3.8 when it was released. Now this has changed in Elementor Pro 3.9 and you can see right over here the flexbox container is inactive. However, the loop builder is active by default. Now the reason behind this is it is now compatible, or it now works with the intersection widget or the columns and sections layout basically, right? So this is the first improvement that you will see. Now to see this thing in action, what I am going to do is I'm going to add a new post in both Elementor 3.8. Let me just close these and add a post right here as well. Move it right here. Edit this with Elementor. Edit this with Elementor. And let me just drag this loop grid widget, which is right over here, onto the canvas. And you can see it clearly says the section, the column, and the loop grid, right? You can see right over here. Similarly, in Elementor Pro 3.8, this is the loop grid right over here, the container and the loop grid, right? So the container is required for loop grid in Elementor Pro 3.8. However, it is not required for sections, columns in Elementor Pro 3.9 because it works with sections and columns or the intersection widget. Now, the first thing that you will have to remember here is that, as you can see, it is not working properly right now, right? This is a problem that I have been facing, and people have been reporting this problem as well. So when you are using loop grid widget, make sure you first implement it on a a local environment like I am using it right now, and do not directly use it on your live website because it can basically not work as per your expectation. That is what I'm going to say right now. Okay, so as you can see, it is not working properly right now. So this is going to be the case, and I have been facing this, this feature has been like causing a bit of trouble for me right now. Okay, so that is what I am going to say, but you get the point that it now works with the sections and columns. Again, I'm going to move the navigator right over here, sections and columns and loop grid. So container and loop grid. Now another thing, while we are on the topic of this feature giving problem with the sections, columns layout, when I was using this feature while writing the article on this topic, what I did was basically I opened the loop builder from the theme builder in Elementor, and then it worked perfectly fine and there was no problems. The only problem I faced was when when using it on posts basically, or when creating a loop builder template using posts. Then I was only facing problems. So I just wanted to get that thing across, right? So this is basically the first change that you will see. Now the next change that you are going to come across in the loop builder widget is the support for WooCommerce. Now to see this change, what I am going to do is I'm going to select the loop grid or the loop builder widget right over here, and you can see there is a new template type and it has a drop down where you can select products, right? You can see right over here. Now let's just head over to Elementor Pro 3.8 and you can see, let me just click it, and you can see there is just one option to select a template. Now before we move forward, I just forgot to say something, just forgot to tell you something. Probably you would have noticed I have moved from the inner section to the container layout. Now the reason behind this is simple, it wasn't working. Yes, so I've been trying to shoot this video for a while, but it wasn't working like I said. So I've moved to the container widget and now it is working hopefully perfectly. Right now the first change that you saw was the new template type option that lets you select between posts and products. Right now when you will select products right over here, the query option will change, the query tab, the source options will change to all of the WooCommerce ones, right? You must have come across all of these options in the product widget, which is the latest product, sale, featured, manual selection, related products, upsells and cross sells. So all of them are related to WooCommerce, all of them are related to your online store. So when you will select the product option in the choose template type drop down, the queries will change to WooCommerce, right? You can see right over here. Now the next change that you will come across is when creating a template. So let me just create template right over here, click save. And you can see right over here all of the widgets now that are being recommended are the WooCommerce widgets, right? You can see right over here the featured image, the wait a second, the product title, you can use it, and the add to cart button, and that's it. That's what we are going to use right now, and I am going to click save and back. Now this was not the case before because there was no option basically to select a what do we call it, the products. There was no basically option to choose a template type, hence there was nothing, hence there was no basically widget that was being recommended as the WooCommerce widget, right? Because there was no template type selection. So to see this in action, what I am going to do is I'm going to click template right over here, click save. You can see there is no option to choose a template type. So as you can see, the loop grid widget isn't cooperating today. So what we are going to do is I went through the theme builder like I told you. If it doesn't work in the regular editor, you just go through the theme builder and then it would work. Okay, right? So I went into the loop grid widget through the theme builder, and here you can see because there was no option to select posts or products, this is what we came up with. This is what the recommended widgets were basically, and these are just for these are just for creating templates for the posts. You can see the excerpt is right over here, featured image, post info, post content and post title. So you clearly understand the difference now, how the recommended widgets change from just being from posts to products, right? When you select that option in this template type that you select. Let me just open it. Hopefully it will bear with us, right? So once you go from products to posts, this is what you see, right? There is a clear change. The widgets that are being recommended are for the products when you select products. Now before Elementor Pro 3.9 it was just for the posts. So I hope you understand this difference, right? And I again apologize for things not working correctly. I don't know why this widget isn't cooperating. From a few days I've been trying to do this over and over again. Okay, so this is basically the change, right? Now moving on, the next improvement that we are going to discuss is an introduction of a new option in the loop builder widget, and that is the equal height. Now if you have been following the development of this loop builder widget, then you must have noticed that a lot of people have been asking for an option to make the columns height equal in the loop builder widget. Now this is the option that lets you do this. And now as you can see, let me just zoom out a little, or let's just zoom in. Okay, now you can see this column is of a shorter height than the other two columns, basically, right? You can see it right over here. Now if I want to make it into equal height, then Elementor gives me an option, and for that I will just have to select this loop grid widget, or the loop builder widget, or the loop that I have created, and here I will see an option known as equal height. Now on clicking this option, you can see right over here all of these are the same height, and not of the same height, the two are of the same height and one is of the different height. And when I will click this option, you can see it becomes the equal height, right? So this is the new option that has been introduced in Elementor Pro 3.9. it is the equal height option, and with just one click you will be able to basically it lets you create columns of the same height. Okay, or basically it makes all of the columns of the same height in the loop builder widget or the loop grid widget in Elementor, right? So this is another new option that you will find in Elementor Pro 3.9.
Now I hope you have found this video helpful, and if you did, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the post notification bell. In case you have any queries, feel free to comment down below and I will try and help. Also, the links to our socials are in the description box below. Make sure to follow us on other platforms as well. And with that said, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.